It is Luke Maguire here as usual. Good to see you all. Hope you can hear me okay. Let me know. What's up? Am I on this camera? Oh, there we go. Got like 3 different webcams here. And depending on the day, GoToWebinar chooses which one it wants to use. So we're here though. Hope you're all doing good. What's been happening, everyone? Let me see in the questions. You can hear me. Good. Nice to see you, Richard Carlos. Let me know. Faramaz, welcome. Shane. What's up, Shane? Good to see you, mate. Hope you've been well. Yeah, it's been good. It's been an exciting past week. As many of you know, I've been down at the Australian Open tennis. I think I was saying how excited I was for that last week. Pretty wild time down there. It's a pretty. Australia's such a multicultural country. We have so many different ethnicities, groups, people from all around the world that live here, which is really cool. It means you get pretty amazing food, lots of different experiences that you wouldn't normally get in a lot of countries. And when it comes to any form of sport, it's just wild to see how it's like another level of intensity when there's a player or a specific team from a specific country coming out, because it's kind of like a mix of the extreme party animal Australian mixed with their own heritage as well. So it was a lot of fun, and you don't get to see it on TV. That they must have really good microphones that can cut out a lot of the screaming and different things that people were screaming out. So pretty wild. And Novak Djokovic, obviously one of, if not the best player of all time, somehow coming through with his 10th Australian Open win. So that was a lot of fun to see, and it is good though to be back home here on the Gold Coast where I live here, and I've been excited for this week's training. So what I want to know first is who here watched last week's webinar. I did a random training for you guys on Profile Mate in 2023. So let me know, and as I look at your comments here, I'm just going to have a few more scoops of my acai bowl here, which Uber Eats said it was going to take 15 minutes about an hour and a half ago, and I only just got it. Cool. That's right. If you didn't make it, that's totally fine too. I did send the replay out, so it'll be worth going back and watching that. Okay. So we've got lots. Carissa, Hans, David, Candice, Rob. Awesome. Is that a protein mix? I'd like to say it was, but I think this is just this has Nutella in it, so I don't think there's too much protein in this one. It tastes good though. I'm training after this, hopefully. If you're on last week's webinar, you can probably remember that I missed my tennis training, missed another appointment because we went on for a bit long. So the goal today is not to push this one out too long, but just get into some really actionable training. So what I quickly want to do to get started with this training is just give you a real quick overview of Profile Mate. Again, maybe for 3 to 5 minutes, wait for a few more people to jump in here as well, but just explain the whole concept of how Profile Mate works. Now, let me turn my webcam off here so I can give you guys a bigger screen to look at. I was talking about, let me go Zach Smith. Fitness. There's probably lots of fake accounts, but this is one of my mates. Yeah, fake account. I think it's probably a fake one as well. It could be a real one. But what you'll find is, I had this concept a few years ago where you would go to any Instagram page and you can actually click on people's followers. So if I was selling a fitness affiliate marketing product, well, I would know Zach here that his followers would be very interested in fitness. And on Instagram, one of the only platforms you can go in and see every single profile of someone that follows any account whatsoever. And I could literally go through these one by one. I then had this realization that 1 in 10 people have their email address as a button on their profile. We shared that on last week's training, and I did that through my phone, showing you how 1 in 10 users have a button on their page that has their email address, essentially allowing you to email them, and they actually want to be contacted. So it made me think, what if I could then find a way that I could go through all the followers of any single Instagram page that would have a market that would be similar to my niche. And if I didn't have my own business, say for local marketing, we did this as an example last week. So I wanted to work with like a local bakery or coffee shop. That's one of the thriving ones around here is called Paddock Bakery. Got 100,000 followers here, and they're verified. Pretty cool. And you can see here that this 100,000 people are going to be people that live very much in the area here of the Gold Coast where I live. So if I hit this little plus option, I can see other accounts that are similar, that have a similar following or a similar type of business that are in the area as well. So I have plenty of accounts I could go through. So if 1 in 10 users have their email address available on average, with 100,000 followers, you get about 10,000 email addresses. If I clicked on this, went through every single one of these one by one, right? And it would be kind of annoying and frustrating at times to have to, all the time, to do that manually, which is why I created Profile Mate. Now, there's a two-step way to use this. Again, I'll show you really quickly. So not only does it just search the followers of any account, you can also search via hashtag. So people that have hashtagged a specific word. So I know for, say, the Australian Open, everyone was hashtagging Oz Open. Say I had a tennis affiliate marketing product, or I had my own physical coaching business, or whatever it might be, I could use the word hashtag. I could search for the hashtag Australian Open and have Profile Mate get emails of anyone that allows me to contact them that way. Now, I can also search by locations, which is pretty cool. Meaning if I was a local business and wanted to target people only in Sydney, Australia, or in Johannesburg, in Africa, or in, I don't know, Kyoto in Japan, wherever you want to go, or place you want to target people from, you can do it that way as well, and create big lists of people from those areas that want to be, or are allowing you to contact them. They want to be contacted, and then the next step, which is what today's webinar is going to be more about, is going to be talking about how do we actually go ahead and do that the right way. But let's do a quick example here. We're going to go here. An example we did last, let's just do Paddock Bakery, which is that bakery I showed you a minute ago. We're going to analyze their following. Let that scan for a few seconds here. I'll eat some more of my acai real quick. Someone says here, everything tastes better with Nutella. And I can agree with that. They make them too good. All right, so we've gone through hundreds of accounts already. 2,000 accounts we've gone through. We're going to hit download. That'll be enough for this quick little example. Now what I'll do, actually, I'll do this for you here. Give me 1 second. What I'm doing here is just in a different window, pulling up Google Drive. How's this? This is actually quite a cool story while I do this. The iMac that I'm using right now, I bought this before I made a single dollar online. I sold everything I owned to move back in with my family back in like 2013, 2012-ish, I think it was. And to learn how to do internet marketing. And I bought this iMac that I still use for every single one of these webinars. But back then, now don't tell Microsoft and telling me, back then I didn't have the money to be going out buying Microsoft Excel and whatnot. So I figured out a way to get it without doing that. But due to recent Mac updates, it doesn't work anymore. So Uh, but actually, I've been using Google Sheets for this example here that I'll be showing you in just a second. I know you can't see anything on your screen just now, but I'll show you one sec. But yeah, this iMac just absolutely dominates it. It's like a rhino. Okay, one sec. Here we go. So this should be, you should be able to see this Excel doc now. It's pulled all the different usernames, and there's so many, and that's just in a minute of doing a quick little scan. Now, that's step one. Step two is we take that and we go back to Profile Mate. We've copied the usernames and we paste those usernames here. This is going to allow us to call Paddock to search through those usernames. And this is the information we can find from the most engaged users to influencers to if their accounts are private or not, if they've got their email address available, if they've got their email address available, if they're a business account or a personal account, all this great information that we can do a lot of stuff with. So we're going to go ahead and hit search there, and I'll let that do its thing for just a second. And yeah, and for people asking for the replay of last week's training, yeah, I've sent it out a few times, but it's also just on my YouTube. It's always a catch-22 putting it on the YouTube. Because a lot of people just watch a bit, then they'll skip to the videos on the side and don't get the information. But I know for a lot of people, it really does help. Yeah, I'll get you my YouTube link real quick for those that need it. Just Luke McGuire on YouTube. But this is last week's, and there's Mr. Beast just smashing the ads. But I'll chuck that in the chat real quick for you now. But now if we go back over to Profile Mate, we can have a look at this. And this is what you'll actually find sometimes that's quite interesting, that this account, we've gone through a lot of these users so far, and the 1 to 10 ratio on this isn't very big. So what I'd potentially even say is for this account, they have a lot of fake followers following them. You'll have a look on the replay for an account that we did on last week's searches, and we found there was, I think it was something like, I think it was almost a 2 out of 10, so a 20% email to fan ratio. And some accounts do this. I don't know why they buy fake fans, but it doesn't do them any good in the long run. It just lowers their reach and messes up their ongoing posts in the future, because their content's going to be shown to fake accounts. So anyway, let's just do a quick example here. What I want to do here is I want to then grab accounts that only have emails and download that. I then want to go here. And now I'm just uploading the document I just downloaded. And while I know this is probably pretty hard to see, let me see if I can expand this for you guys at all. So you get the idea here. So the other accounts that we've got so far, and you can see we've got their public emails here. Now, in this case, with this example, we've got a few personal ones, a few business ones. And again, if we just want to go back to Profile Mate and we want to segment out just if they're a business account or not, we can say no, and then we can download the details according to that. Now, an example I did last week, let me check my webcam on real quick. Talking about another way that's a really great way to use Profile Mate is that so many accounts of people are getting deleted, especially people that do things like just break terms, which is a lot of people, OnlyFans girls and guys, people that are extremely political or political accounts can often get themselves banned. There's a lot of politics in the whole what's right and what's wrong in the social media field. But the thing is, most people don't have a list. Most people just completely depend on their social media audience and think that that's going to support them forever. But when you depend on any platform, you don't own your business, that platform owns your business. If you depend only on Facebook ads, Facebook owns your business. If you depend only on your fans on Instagram, Instagram owns your business. The amount of people that you're seeing coming out that are on TV crying because they've lost their followings and they think their lives have gone to nothing, it's pretty wild that they've never decided to actually think of it that way and build out an actual email list or a way to contact, even if it's just their most engaged fans outside of these platforms. And a really cool thing with Profile Mate is you can actually go out and scan all of your all of any account's followers before even trying to get emails or anything like that. You can actually scan just all their followers and say, hey, look, reach out to that influencer or that person and say, hey, I want to actually give you a list of every one of your followers. It's going to cost you $1,000 for me to get that list to you, but it's going to ensure that you have that copy of your actual account and who actually followed you if anything ever does go wrong. And then when you go to high risk accounts or people of getting deleted, they will understand the value in that massively. On the flip side, I did an example on this Paddock Bakery last week saying you can also then find influencers. And a concept that I really, really love is micro influencing, right? Because I think the more and more you see these big influencers on social media promote something, you just go, oh, that's just another brand deal, that's just another promotion, that's just another this and that. For a local business like a coffee shop, finding someone that has a following greater than, say, 2,000 followers, out of this little list that we've scanned so far, 41 people do. And what if I invited all of these people to come into the restaurant and they can grab a free coffee, or even a free breakfast, bacon and eggs, and all they need to do is post a photo of it or post a photo of them there, right? That little $10 meal you give them on a compounding level, so you get 100 people do that, it's going to cost you a little bit of money, but you're going to get a reach of thousands and thousands and thousands, probably a couple of 100,000, right? For a couple of breakfasts. And these are the people that will come and do it because they have probably not been asked to be an influencer for something before. They've probably never been offered a free meal. It makes them feel really good, and it's just a really cool way to be able to get local businesses on board, and they get this concept, right? I'm seeing it more and more. Local businesses are getting fed up with these influencer mindsets that think that their business life revolves around the influencer versus the other way around. Now, like, yes, some influencers are out there that can pull insane numbers for businesses, but there's also a lot that just fizzle, all right? So this is a cool way to get real people that would really actually go to these places and make them feel really good. And this is just one example. This could be applied for nightclubs, for surgeons, for lawyers, for surfing lessons, for jiu-jitsu training, whatever it might be, you can use it. So that's the overall concept. And if you like this sort of little intro training part here, watch webinar 1 at a later date, maybe after this. But what I wanted to do, this was the main thing we had discussed last week. Now let me just pull open a Google document. So we know how to contact how to get the email leads, but now we want to know how do we actually contact them, right? So there's a couple of parts to this and different ways you can do it, but to get straight into it, like so last week when I shared with you ProfileMate, I showed you the free ways you can use ProfileMate or how to do things manually for free. Then I showed you ProfileMate as the solution. This week I want to just show you the best way to set up a business that you can essentially have everything working for you. It's set up, and the only job you need to do is take the emails you get from ProfileMate, feed it into this machine that we're going to be sharing with you today, and then have that business be automated for you. Now that's going to be what we're going to jump into now, but after that I'll show you some other methods that they're not going to be as effective. And I want to share with you the fastest, the best ways to automate things in 2022. Also, a bit later on, I'm even going to share with you guys how to look at using AI to write some of your cold email templates and what you need to check for them. My suggestion is to write one yourself first with the methods that we'll probably share today, and then go from there into taking it from there, and then having an AI tool rewrite it and seeing if it makes sense. It's pretty insane what we can do with that. But to do this, what ProfileMate has been out for a couple of years. Now we've upgraded it ongoing. There's a few also new upgrades for any members that are already in here today that I'll just be giving you guys for free. But every single time I've ever shared it live on a webinar setting or a launch, I've done 2 launches of this product, a third one coming up too. But I always stress the importance of doing this the right way, reaching out to these people you get and you're allowed to contact, but doing it in the right way. And I always bring one of my very best friends and colleagues in the industry, someone that I do look up to, Neil Napier, because he is someone and his entire business. There's a lot of things that I wish I had have done in the younger years. He's built some of the best softwares in the industry for core products, from webinar softwares to page builders to autoresponders to so many different things that are core tools, but they're very competitive fields to go into. They might not be the sexiest products in terms of those ones. He's got some other ones that are just insane as well. But in terms of these core products that businesses, that we as people really truly need, and they're core for any successful online business. But to actually do them right is very hard to do. But somehow, not somehow, Neil's just a genius. So it's probably been the easiest thing for him to do because he's a smart man. But I wanted to actually bring him on with me today to show you how to actually reach out to these users the right way and how to do it with the right autoresponder. So an autoresponder, again, is where you can just take the leads, contact them on a mass scale, essentially, and how to do this in the right way to ensure you're keeping opens happening, to ensure you're not spamming the users, to ensure that they get value when you reach out to them, and then how to set this all up in a way that we can just have it be an automated system as much as possible. So Neil, I appreciate you being here. I know whenever I do this time zone as well, it's literally like probably midnight, 1 a.m. for him. So we've done some other longer webinars in the past, and if you're interested in those, they're inside the ProfileMate training area. But I think we're going to move a bit faster today, so you guys aren't here for as long. Neil can get some sleep, and that we can just really just get into the meat of all of this. So Neil, if you're here, mate, feel free to jump on.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it very much, and thank you so much for the introduction. We have definitely created a lot of platforms that people use, basic fundamental platforms that you need, like page builders, webinar platforms, and email marketing platforms. And again, I think I'd like to say we have a recipe for that, so it's not as much genius as it is just consistent execution, which I also implore of all our customers to just consistently do the boring stuff, because that's the stuff that actually makes money. I'm not on camera. I actually just bought a new computer and I don't have a webcam set up on this one. It's a PC, so that's why.
What I'll do is I'll turn my webcam off, and if I want to mention anything, I'll just turn it back on, and then you'll know that whenever it suits you that I'll say something, if that makes sense.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Cool.
Yeah. And I'm also going to share my screen. So I do have a bit of presentation prepared, because when I like to do this, I like to do this in training style to actually show you what I have shown before. And just so you know, this is more of a compressed version of, what Luke and I have talked about a while ago too. So if you do want, like Luke said, full training, there should be some available in the members area for that. So ProfileMate as a platform is excellent at giving you leads that you can utilize to build social media following, potentially, sell to. What we have done with ProfileMate in the past is, and we still do from time to time, is if you're running like a challenge, a live challenge, we invite people from those, Instagram profiles over to like a Facebook group, where we give them 3 to 5 day worth of training and make an offer at the end of it. So there's many different ways to do this. I'm going to just share the general training with you that will help you do email marketing the right way. I do want to say, though, that we don't share this very often, and when we do, we go all out, so please do make sure you are taking notes. And just so you know that this thing actually works, this is from September of last year, where I, live, and this was live in front of people. As in this, it's recorded now for you to watch, but I emailed some prospects for B2B lead generation, and I was able to close them for $560. This was upfront, so it was about £500 at the time, and then £500 when the service was done. So everything that I'm sharing with you today is based in real results that we've been able to get for other people, and I want you to get this for yourself as well. I promise I'll keep this part short. My name is Neil Napier, and I've been an online marketer since 2012, and I'm not a natural born entrepreneur. This is something I want to emphasize, that no one in my family was an entrepreneur. I'm the first one. And the reason for that is because I kind of had to do it. I got fired from my job, and I didn't really want to be in a job anymore working for someone else. So I had to make it work. And the reason I mention that is because quite often there are people like me out there, you may be one of those, that doesn't come from a line of entrepreneurs, but still want to make that jump where you're not working for the man, where you're basically making enough money month after month, doing things for yourself. And again, that's what I'll be sharing with you today, because over time, what I've gotten really good at is closing more sales, and I close more sales by mailing more people. Like, it is literally about that. So there's 2 ways to make money, just so you know, like 2 things you need to make money, 2 levers, let's call them that. Either you need more products, or you need more audience that you can mail to. Of course, you can have both, which is a really good combination, which is how we've been able to generate $2 million. I think it's 2021. 2022 was about 1.8 as well, so it was really good. But then there's 2 levers. As long as you can pull one of them, it'll give you results. And ProfileMate solves one of those problems, which is it gives you literally leads on demand. You just decide what kind of leads you want, where you want them from, and it gets you those leads. It gets you those profile handles, their email addresses, and a lot of other things that you can utilize in your email marketing, which is what I want to talk about with you now. So this is a topic that I have been teaching to ProfileMate audience for, like Luke said, over 2 years now. And I think it's very, very important that I teach you the right way of doing email marketing, because if you don't do it the right way, you will get banned, you will get suboptimal results, and you'll just feel like it's not for me, it doesn't work. It does work, but you got to do it the right way. Because when it comes to email marketing, you can make a lot of money by literally sending an email. I mean, I was just looking at my notifications right now, and while I was in this webinar, I got a sale, affiliate sale that is, for about $117. And it's not a big number. It's not a big number, but the point is, if it was any other day, I'd be sleeping right now, right? I'd be sleeping right now. But I am able to make money basically when I'm sleeping, because I have mastered email marketing, and I want to share this with you. So when it comes to email marketing, please, of course, ask questions at any point. I'll try and answer them as soon as I see them. But if I don't, I promise I'll circle back to them later. Okay? Now, the problems with email marketing are this, that you need to build an email list, which again, ProfileMate solves it for you, right? Then you need good email deliverability, and of course, you need products to sell as well, or services. And quite often, like I'll tell you this, quite often, it's quite easy for you to just go out there and even just do lead generation to build a Facebook group of your own, to build an audience of your own. So typically people face these problems. They say, how do I actually find the prospects? What do I offer to them? And I'm new to all of this. Like, let's say if I wanted to set up an agency, if I wanted to sell services to leads, that I get from ProfileMate, how do I actually fulfill the service? Because not everyone has an SEO expert, but I can tell you with the training that I'm going to give you today, you can go out there and sell SEO-based services as well if you want to, and not have to worry about any kind of fulfillment. So let's go ahead and solve these problems for you today. In 3 simple steps, I'm going to show you how you can charge more, close more prospects, and make more profit. And again, remember, all of this essentially comes out from you generating leads using ProfileMate. So here's how all of this works. Here's how you tie everything together. And again, just a quick reminder, please do make sure to grab pen and paper and take notes and ask questions. All right, so step number 1, you're going to find the leads. Now, I don't need to go into too much detail with this because Luke already showed you how ProfileMate works, but I can tell you that typically if you were not using ProfileMate, your life would be much more difficult. You will have to rely on leads you already know. You have to build an email list, a permission-based email list, which can get costly. Like, even a single click from Facebook ads, for example, can cost as much as $2. Again, it works. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It does work, but it does require a lot of upfront investment. But you've got ProfileMate, so you don't need to do any of those. You don't need to scrape leads. You don't need to spend money on building an email list. You don't need to badger local businesses that you already know, like, hey, come sign up on my email list, right? You can use ProfileMate for a lot of that. You can basically get thousands of leads and qualify a few that are perfect. This is very, very important. A lot of people think email marketing is about volume. You get 1,000 leads, 10,000 leads, 20,000 leads, you mail all of them, and then you do it again the next day. It is not. The more precise you can get with your message to a more precise audience, the better your results will be. It's like with SEO, if you know, like content marketing, is Google prefers if people stay on your site for very long. So they enjoy your content, they spend time on your site, that's a positive sign to Google. And email marketing works the same way. The more opens you get, the more clicks you get in your emails, that's a positive sign to ESPs, for your IP. So all in all, the more precise you can get with your targeting, the better it is. I mean, I'd rather mail 100 precise leads than 1,000 random leads who may or may not be interested in my offer. And again, like I said, the easy thing for you is a ProfileMate takes care of all of that, right? That's step number 1. Step number 2. Now, there are many things that you can sell to people, right? So you can sell whatever product or service you have right now. So maybe you have an agency where you do content creation, where you do graphic designing, or even just something as simple as B2B lead generation, or hey, I'm going to help you grow your Instagram profile. So you may do one or more of these things. That's perfectly fine. What I advise you to do though is to sell people what they need. So a mistake that people quite often make with tools like ProfileMate when they first get them is that they just grab an email list and just send an email to like 1,000 people saying like, hey, this is who I am, this is my service, let's work together. Now please bear in mind, when you are extracting a list like this, you may have an idea about who that person is, but you don't know what problems they face precisely. So in the beginning, especially in the research process, I would advise you to ask as many questions as you can, to have as many conversations as you can, just to understand who you can serve and what you can serve them with. Because I have found far better results by selling people what they actually need. So again, if you are in a tunnel vision and you're like, hey, I do content creation and content marketing, or I do Instagram profile build-up, that's what I want to offer, that is excellent. Just make sure then you do your targeting right. Okay. But what you can also do is you can follow the arbitrage model, which is you can reach out to people, you can understand what they need, and then you can go find someone else who can actually do the work. So for example, there are literally service providers on Fiverr that will do everything for local SEO for like 300 a month. And you can literally turn around and sell that for 2,000 a month. Same service for 2,000 a month, right? Because you're also adding your consulting element, like, hey, I'm not just this unknown entity on the internet that's doing this for you. We'll have a call, I'll walk you through everything, you'll get reports, all those different things. So you can literally follow the arbitrage model where you solve specific problems for other people, for other businesses, and you just offload that service to someone else. We'll talk about that in step 3 as well, actual fulfillment. But again, look, if you have your own product or service, that is even better. In fact, let me ask you this right now. What niche are you in at the moment? Like if I was to tell you, like, pitch me something, what would you pitch me? Just write in your elevator pitch, 10-word elevator pitch in the chat box. I'm really genuinely interested if you're doing like, services of some sort, if you're doing your own products, which one is it? Let me know. So Hans says affiliate marketing. Let me know. Demetrius, feel free to reach out to us if you got it from us, and we can talk to the vendor as well. Okay, affiliate products, rank at top 3 of Google 3-pack. That's awesome, Troy. Live good. I guess that's what you mean, not live good. I do Google stacking for Google Business Profiles. That's awesome, Jacqueline. I've actually heard of that strategy. Really, really effective. Social media post creating. Okay, excellent, Richard. Providing services for restaurants and non-profits. Shell, that's great. Our own health supplement line, Tavis. Tavis, I think you'll have a lot of success with Profile Mate because you've got pretty much the right audience for that on Instagram. Marketing agency lead generation and funnel says Georgia. Loyalty program says Don. Pet odor urine remover says Frank. Very specific. That's good. I mean, you can definitely target, people that love dogs, with that kind of targeting, right? Google citation, ClickFunnels services. I create animated videos. Is this just recording? It is not. Will you answer questions here? I will if I see it, Corina. Supplement CBD. Okay, that's excellent as well. ADA and affiliate offers. Great. All of this is really good. Now, I have a bit of warning about affiliate offers. So let me explain. If you do affiliate marketing, that's fine, but avoid doing affiliate marketing direct to a cold audience, which you extract from ProfileMate or anywhere else for that matter. Because a lot of ESPs look at affiliate marketing as, I wouldn't say, I mean, we do affiliate marketing a lot in our business every day, in fact, but to them, if you're selling someone else's product, then you're kind of using their service. But if you're selling your own product, like ESPs prefer that. So the point I'm trying to make here is that when you're extracting leads that you haven't gotten permission to mail to explicitly, they haven't like opted in for you, so it's like cold email marketing basically. Make sure that your first email, your approach email, isn't like, hey, have you heard of this make money online system that can make you $1,000 a week? Don't do that. Your email for sure will land in spam, number 1. Number 2, if it doesn't, if someone actually does see it, they're going to click on spam. So either way, you fail. Okay, so don't do that. You're muted, Luke, I think, or I can't hear you.
I am muted. Thanks, Neil. Yeah, and just one point on that is, I always say this in every single form of marketing that I try to teach is that whenever you're doing it, really put yourself in the customer side, not from the vendor. Like, this is what I've got. This is what I need to promote. Like, think about it more like, okay, if I'm receiving this email, or if I look at this ad that I'm making as the customer, is this something that is providing any form of value to me as a customer, or is it providing only value to the vendor actually displaying this type of email or advertisement or Instagram post or whatever it may be? So always think of it in that way. And yeah, I can promise you, as Neil says, if you're just getting bulk emails and then actually just sending them affiliate offers, it's there's no trust there. People think it's spammy, and it's something that even like I'm never one to talk bad about people, but I had one guy the other day. He was a product developer, reach out to me, and he's like, he goes, do you want to buy my entire email list? And I'm like, no, that's like the most dodgy, horrible thing ever. Like, why would I do that? And people just go around just trying to do things and just think you can just mass mail the people just offers straight out the gate. And what you want to be doing, especially if you're doing affiliate marketing as well, on higher than anything else, I personally say, even though it's important in every way, that when you are building that audience, you want to be creating a relationship. You don't need to be best friends, even though that'd be cool, but you want them to see value in you and trust you. And that's where people get stuck. But that's what we're teaching here, is how to do that. And when you get that locked down, for me personally, my business changed. I can pretty much tell you, anyone that's been in the industry for more than 3 years, which isn't many people, the key reason they are is because they have done that. They've been able to create that relationship and really help have it be a two-way thing where both the vendor and the customer wins. So I just wanted to mention that real quick.
No, I appreciate that, and that's certainly what we have done as well. So as I mentioned, a good portion of our business is based on affiliate marketing too, or selling access to our training or software. So if I want to invite people for that using ProfileMate, what I tend to do is I bring them into community. So for example, even in sending cold emails to bring people into a community works really well, because they basically feel like they're not being pitched to right away, which is really what you want to do. You don't want to pitch someone right away. If you do that, it does come across, if not spammy, as kind of scammy. So one of those things. Okay, excellent. So let's circle back to this. So when it comes to basically, selling services or products, essentially, you're trying to solve problems. No one cares about what your product or service does unless it solves a very specific problem for them. And again, if you're unclear right now, if you're like, I don't know what problems I can solve for you, it's okay to bring people together in a group, or it's okay to even just do a survey. Or hey, if you're one of those people that loves talking to people, it's okay to get them on a call. Like quite often what we have done is just gotten people from Instagram, like again using ProfileMate, extracting those leads, sending those emails, we've gotten them on exploratory call. So just to understand them a little bit better. Like, hey, we're trying to talk to a lot of micro influencers on Instagram. We'd love to have a quick, 10-minute chat with you, 15-minute chat with you, and just understand basically more about your business and the problems that you face. And you'd be surprised how many people are just willing to give you the time, right? So if you want to do all those things, you can, and it's just, it gives you a lot of really good insights. But the way I do it is I figure out what kind of market I want to go after, and then I look at the current assets and the current processes and think about what can I do better for them. If, for example, if I browse a micro-influencer's website and they're building an email list, then I tell them, well, how are you emailing that list? Can I help you with that? If they are not building an email list, I tell them like, hey, look, I know you're getting traffic because I checked in, via Ahrefs, so you can use tools to kind of estimate organic traffic at least that they're getting. So I asked, simply ask them like, hey, I think you should definitely have an opt-in form on your site. You should build an email list and you should mail that email list. Do you want my help with that? Right. So again, understanding all these things will make it easy for you to basically make an offer. But here's the thing. With ProfileMate, you can literally download like thousands of leads at the push of a button. I think Luke's probably made it a bit too easy for people, and they become a bit too complacent, right? They're like, oh, all I have to do is like click a button and get 1,000 leads and I'm good. That is good, but how do you actually contact these 1,000 leads? How do I do that day in, day out? How do you automate it? I mean, earlier you saw pictures of me with my kid. I've got 2 kids now. And for me, I have built my entire business around automation, except for these live webinars at 1 a.m. I like doing those. But other than that, I built my entire business on automation. What can I do more of so I don't have to be, looking at my computer all day long? What can I do more of so I can drop my kids to school, pick them up, and I can spend my whole evening with them and my wife, right? So to me, it's very, very important to do things in bulk and to do things as automated as I possibly can, which is where cold bulk email marketing comes in. So we do this with our own platform, like we built the entire infrastructure around cold bulk email marketing. There's not a lot of platforms that will give you that capability. I mean, there used to be, or maybe still are, tools like Gmail or something, which are good, but you have to kind of warm up a lot of the sort of domains and IPs yourself to begin with. So there's a lot more ramp up period, as we call it. So you send one email today, two emails tomorrow, four emails the next day, and like it's not exponential growth, but you can kind of keep on increasing that volume slowly. So that there's that problem is that it's too slow to ramp up, number one. Number two is if you sometimes mess up, which honestly in cold email marketing happens way too often, and that's okay. If you mess up and your IP gets blacklisted, for example, you kind of have to get it cleaned up yourself, which can take a week or 2 weeks. And again, you need to be technically aware of how you do all of those things. So we tend to handle all of those. But let me actually first talk a bit more about B2B cold email marketing, right? I want to set the stage before we really show you how the tool works. Now, B2B cold emails are perfectly fine, but the intent is important. I know if you're from Germany, for example, you may say they're not, and I know in some countries laws differ, but in most countries in the world, like I would say 98% of the countries in the world, cold emails are fine, but the intent is very, very important. You have to make that very clear why you're contacting them. If you're vague, if you're spammy, it's going to work against you. Number one. Number two is value first, sell later. Think about this. If I stop you, if I stop you on the street, you're walking, I stop you on the street, I'm like, hey, buy this magazine from me. You know what I'm talking about. Or give this donation to for the kids. I mean, sure, you feel like I want to, but it's a bit annoying to be just stopped and say, hey, you got to do this for other, you got to do this for me. You got to pay me money. You wouldn't do that. But if you know this sect, this group Hare Krishna, this is what they came up with. This was like many years ago. They would basically stop you in the street and they'll pin a flower on your jacket, right? They'll give you like one of those fake flower pins on your jacket. Nothing. They're not expecting anything. They just kind of fold their hands. They say thank you. They walk away. You walk away. And then just 10 meters behind or 10 meters in front of you, there's another person with the same kind of flower in the jacket signed with a clipboard. Would you like to donate to our organization? Right. So it's the value first thing. You kind of feel compelled to, that you have to, because someone did something for you. Right. So if you reach out to someone and if you are genuinely interested in solving their problems, it's going to work really well for you. So someone has said, for example, they're interested in credit restoration, right? Credit restoration. So if you can figure out what kind of people, or based on location, gender, demographics, whatever, are in most dire need of that, you could just reach out to them and say, hey, if this is something that you need help with, I'd be happy to just send you a PDF, a guide basically that my clients use to restore their credit. Just let me know and I'll send that over to you. Of course, you could just send that over automatically anyway. Like, hey, I'm Neil Napier and this is what I do as a business. Now, typically I sell this guide for like $97, but I came across your Instagram profile, like you reminded me of someone, a close friend, and I thought maybe you may have a need for it as well. So here you go. Here's a free guide that you can read at your own time. I'm not expecting anything, just please use it. Luke.
Yeah. And like I just wanted to share I remember one of the first time I launched Profile Mate, when there was had a lot less features than it does now. But one of the first success stories, it came in like 2 days after they purchased it. And they were actual restaurant owners. And I think I might have shared this last week. They sent an email out they scanned all their like a couple of competition restaurants in the area. And they sent out an email saying, hey, look, I see that you have dined at some other great restaurants in the Brisbane area. We actually own a restaurant, and we'd love to give you a free drink if you ever decide to come in and dine with us. And it was a free drink of 20% off their meal or something like that. They're like, this is our website. We would love to have you, and we'd love to see what your experience is with us, and just show us to see if you ever do decide to come in. And then within, I think it was another 24 hours from that, they had an extra 6 new bookings from these emails on just doing this once. And I thought that was really cool, and I shared that. And then so many customers then that didn't own restaurants just started going to restaurants and saying, hey, this is a service we can provide for you, because, and wouldn't this be great if we could email all your competition audience saying A, B, C, D, give them some value, get them in the doors. Because the thing is, even if you give them a free drink, if they're booking, like, everyone's going to eat, they're probably going to come in, they're probably going to order a few extra things, and that drink is going to pay itself off many times over. And as that local business, as a local marketing agency, that people were doing this for local businesses, that it really started to ramp up their first clients, and a lot of them now are doing 6-figure agencies doing the same thing, but for multiple industries. So say for nightclubs as well, hey, free entry to this VIP night or whatever it may be. So yeah, lead with that value first. I just wanted to share that just to add on to Neil's example.
Yeah, no, that is really good. And again, if you do value first, I can promise you, you will get happier customers. You will never get an angry customer because you give them free drink, right? So there's that. Number 3 is get permission. Now, again, ProfileMate can give you thousands of leads literally at the push of a button. So have this abundance mindset that you're never going to run out of leads to mail to. So what I tend to do is, if after the 3rd email, they haven't given me explicit permission to mail them again, I don't mail them. I'll show you how I set this up in an automation in a minute. But if by the 3rd email, they haven't said, okay, I want to hear more about it, or let me know, give me more details, I don't mail them, for the simple reason that I think, if by the 3rd email they haven't shown interest, then it's probably not for them, and I can just move on to another lead. And because, again, the whole thing is automated, because the whole thing is kind of easy to do, it doesn't take much effort. So that's number 3. Number 4, clean your list. Now, this is important too. When someone signs up to Instagram, like I know I've signed up to Twitter about 8 years ago, and I used an email address that doesn't function anymore. That's not, I don't use that email address anymore. So it is very, very important that you clean an email list. Because if you don't clean that email list, what's going to happen is you may end up with an email address that doesn't exist anymore. So your email is going to bounce, and we call that hard bounce. When your email has a hard bounce, it tells the ESPs and the IPs that basically you're emailing like really old contacts, and that's a big no-no. So don't do that, right? Number 1. Number 2, also when you do these kind of cleaning your email list thing, it helps remove what we call emails that are in spam traps or honey traps. So what companies like Gmail and Hotmail, Yahoo have done is, over time, they have planted around the web email addresses that they know if someone's mailing to, they're spamming, right? So those email addresses are also planted into places like Instagram and Twitter, LinkedIn, everywhere. So if you mail that, even if you have genuine intent, if you really just want to give someone of value, something of value, they will see that, hey, you are basically just scraping a page somewhere or something, and you're mailing these leads, which you shouldn't. So we call them like honey traps or spam traps. So if you clean the list, it will get rid of those known spam traps, which is very, very important. That's number 4. Number 5 is,
sorry, no, just quickly, I wanted to touch on that, guys. Inside of ProfileMate, I've done a video on how to clean your email list. I can even share that with you after Neil goes. It's a super simple procedure to do. Procedure, it's like I'm talking like we're doing surgery here. But it's easy as to do, and I'll share that with you guys after. But you basically just drag the email list into a software, and then it just goes through it for you. It's really, really simple, and you don't need to even buy softwares. You can just drag them in, and it costs a couple of bucks to do it once. It's pretty easy to do. So I'll share that with you after.
Yeah, no, that'd be awesome. Number 5, which is something I've changed my stance on recently. Let me explain. So I have learned from others, and I've used this myself as well in the past, where if you have 6 points of personalization, you appear less, like it's a bit more personal when you reach out to someone. So for example, with ProfileMate, you can get a lot of details. You can get their Instagram handle, you can get their profile link, you can get also the location. for example. So having this, detailed information is really good, of course. And if you include that in your email, as I'll show you in a minute, and as long as you don't appear creepy, it's okay. Like, if you don't say, oh yeah, I know you live on like this street, like that's kind of creepy. But if you just say something like, hey, this is what I do, and I'm gonna be in let's say Melbourne like next week. If you have time, let's catch up. Let's catch up for a coffee. Again, like business wise, not like let's go out dating. We're not running Tinder here, but just like, hey, if you're interested in kind of like talking about SEO or just funnels or credit repair, credit restoration, let's just grab a coffee. Like no, like I'm not pushing for anything, just a coffee because I'm in Melbourne anyway, right? So those sorts of things are okay, but you don't want to get creepy, right? Now, this is something I have changed my stance on a little bit recently, the 6 points of personalization. So that's one way to approach cold email marketing. Another way to approach cold email marketing when you mail someone is having a really, really strong curiosity hook, right? So I showed you this earlier, or rather I talked about this earlier. I said have basically something of value to offer to them. So I'm inside Mailviewer right now, and I just want to show you this email, this very, very simple email, which looks like this. My client, basically I have a client who's looking for an accounting firm. Can you help? Like literally this. So I'll go to hundreds of accounting firms and I'll just literally tell them that I have a client who wants to pay you money. Do you want to get paid? Right? I had a response rate on this of about 8%. Like 8% people generally got back and they were like, yeah, send us more details, or here's what you can do. Some even said, yeah, make the introduction. If we sign them up, we'll give you 15%. Right? So again, simple email. I run a marketing agency and one of my clients, a doctor in London, in Chicago, in New York, whatever location, it keeps on changing dynamically. I'll explain that in a bit, is looking for an accountant. Do you offer services to doctors in London? If so, please let me know and I can connect you to. Simple, like very, very simple. And this allowed me to basically get, like I said, 8% response rate, positive response rate. No one actually said, no, don't, I don't want to be connected to anyone. I don't want to be referred. 8% response rate. And that's the one campaign within like the first week, I think, within 7 days or rather of kind of doing it, we got that result that you saw earlier, that $560 payment of someone for whom I could do B2B lead generation. So I was actually doing something pretty clever, and I promise I will circle back to that in just a few minutes. I do want to show you a little bit more of the presentation as well before I do though. So let's go back to this. But everything runs via automation, and this to me, like I said, is the most important thing. I don't want to be worried or stressed about like, hey, I need to get back to my computer because I need to send an email. We don't do that. It all happens automatically. Now, before I do a deeper dive into Mailviewer and show you some of the automations and how we're doing it, I want to explain why Mailviewer is different and, dare I say, even better than other services out there. So number one, like I said, if you wanted to do cold email marketing yourself, you can. You're welcome to try that, but you're going to have to warm up IPs yourself. What I mean by that is you're going to have to literally, do one email on the first day, 2, and then 3, and then 5, and then 9, and that way you like send 1, 2, 3, 5, 9 emails in a day, and that's how you warm up your IP. In our case, for Mailviewer, everything is already warmed up because we're a mature platform. I mean, we've been around for more than 3 years now, so in that we know what kind of volume to expect. We can predict that even with new signups such as yourself. Number one. Number two, we put you into pools and basically move you around based on your performance. So if you get good opens, you get into better pools. If you get bad opens, you get into bad pools. But you can always ask us to review that for you. If you're inboxing, if you feel your open rates are not as good as they could be, we literally have someone on call to help you. So when you come work with us, what happens is that someone jumps on a call with you to help set up the technical things like SPF, DKIM. I won't even go into that because I don't fully understand it myself, but we have someone who does, and they basically set it up for you on a call, and that call is recorded, so that way you can just kind of do it yourself next time if you want to, or you can still ask us. But if you don't want to be on a call, fine, we can do it for you. But the point is that if you don't set things up right in cold email marketing, you're inboxing, and as a result of which your open rates will be low. So what I want to do now is I want to go into Mailview itself and show you what kind of automations we build and why we build them that way, and how you could do that as well. So typically, what I do, like in this particular case, I took two industries. So one of them was doctors, the other one was accountants, and my job was to basically get paid money from an accountant and give them doctor leads. Literally, like that was my whole intention. So the idea was there to find a few accountants who would be willing to pay me either a referral fee, right? And with referral, of course, you may argue that sometimes they may lie, they may not pay, like that's a different thing altogether. But I prefer just to get paid based on qualified leads, right? So someone who books a call with an accountant, someone who responds positively to an email to an accountant, and you can literally get paid as much as $50 per qualified lead. Because remember, you are basically when they start with an accountant, they're paying minimum $1,000 a year, and they stay with them for years and years. So to them, the lifetime value is really, really high. Now, with the client that I closed, actually, I agreed with them that for £1,000 at that time, because I was mailing people in London in my experiment. For £1,000, basically, I'm going to give you 25 qualified leads. That is, 25 people are going to book a call with you. That's about £40, so $45 or so, I think, depending on the exchange rate. So that's what I do. I basically, my job becomes that of a connector when I'm doing this kind of B2B lead generation. But more specifically, if you were using, let's say, Instagram Profile Mate to generate leads, like I said, for me, I would rather prefer to bring people into a community, or I would use that as a way to build my own Instagram profile. There's a case study, and I can't remember where that is right now. And actually, I don't know, Luke, I could be wrong here, but that may be the genesis for why Profile Mate came to be. Like someone literally blew up in a positive way their Instagram account overnight, like over a few months, by just doing like cold emailing in bulk, right? So I remember this case study I saw. They literally cold emailed over a period of months. They cold emailed like 500,000 people or 1 million people, and they were able to get 100K new followers just from that alone. And I looked at it like, wow, this is incredible, right? And that's what Profile Mate helps you do. It gives you that capability, but you still got to do the bulk cold email marketing, which is what Mailview helps you do. Now, within Mailview, you can start an automation from scratch, or you can use one of our pre-written automations. I'm actually quite excited to see what Luke shares about using AI for cold email writing, because we've been playing with that a lot as well. So again, I'm very keen to see what Luke has for that in a bit. But what you can do here is you can define a workflow trigger. So for example, let's say when someone joins a group, you start the workflow. And when I say group is basically an email list, right? So I could say, okay, this group, let's say, and if they're an active contact, that is the subscribed. So you start the sequence. And then I would pretty much start by sending them a simple email. Like the first email, like I said, you can either go super deep into 6 points of personalization, or you can keep it relatively simple. So in my case, let's say if I was building, and this is what I've done in the past, if I'm building a community and I want people to join that community because I'm running like a 3-day challenge, then I would say something as simple as, let's say, invite, and just say, are you interested in whatever that community is going to be about? Are you interested in, let's say, digital marketing, or are you interested in affiliate marketing? Like, that's a pretty simple thing to say. Are you interested in affiliate marketing? If they don't know, they're not going to open the email list. They're going to be like, hey, I don't know what this email is. I'm just going to not open it, which happens all the time. But I'm going to do this. And then let's just create a very, very quick email. We're going to just use, let's say, blank templates. So we've got all these different templates you can use as well. But I keep it very, very simple. So I just go ahead and let's go ahead and use one of the save templates, because again, I don't want to worry too much about editing design right now. But you can do all these. They can put tons of stuff in here. But I would just say hi. In this case, I would use their Instagram profile handle, right? So hi, I came across your Instagram account. Are you, and this is again where you put the like, you know, the handle or the profile link. Just confirm with them, like, am I talking to the right person, right? So based on my research, people such as yourself are interested in email marketing, email marketing, in affiliate marketing. If I am completely off base, basically affiliate marketing is blah, 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 blah. Explain that, right? Just a little bit, like not a full essay, but just a few lines. So if they're not aware of it, at least they get a little bit aware of it. So you can then say, starting next week, I am, or let's say next week, I am starting up a new community where I will share what works for us, blah, 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 right? Would you like to join? If so, just respond and I will send you a link. We are only taking in 100 people at this time, so please do hurry back. Something as simple as that. Regards, Neil Napier, right? So just short, punchy, be very clear on the call to action at the end. It's like, email me back and I'll send you a link. Now, of course, you could send them a link in the first go as well, in the first email, but I think Luke mentioned this earlier, try and avoid being pitchy, too pitchy. Like, they shouldn't feel like you're out to get something from them. So it's okay to add things in, like, it's free to join, you don't even need to opt in, those sorts of things, right? So again, value first. So if you do something like this, a community, that's great. Or you can always just mail them and say, hey, you know, let's follow each other on Instagram. Like literally that. Like, I saw that you are interested in like Tony Robbins, so am I. Let's follow and maybe we can share some notes sometimes or talk about books that we love. So simple emails like these can get you a high response rate as well. But like I said, if you go deep into personalization, that works really well as well. So once this email is done, basically you save and continue. And what I tend to do is I tend to add a few more emails to this. So yeah, merge tag, I'm going to remove this because it doesn't exist. So what you can do is you can add more emails. So I'll wait, for example, for 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, and then I'll send another email. This time I'll just say like, hey, maybe you missed my previous email, but just in case, here's the link where you can go sign up, where we're going to be teaching next week about affiliate marketing. There's no fee to be paid, like it's no need to opt in. Just go ahead and join the group. Simple. Again, wait for 3 more days, send that email again, but stop after that. Like if by then they haven't responded positively, just delete them. That, like, literally that's what I do. I add a new feature, add a new action point, and in this case you just say, okay, well, delete the list from the group, from the email list. Why? Because if after that email they haven't shown a positive reaction, it's very unlikely that they will. And there's no point to keep harassing them again and again, because again, you can literally download 1,000 new leads the next day. And the way this automation works, once you activate it, is that you go in, let's go ahead and exit. You go in, you literally go into your contacts, into, let's say, the group. So it could be the retail Seattle, and you just go ahead and add contacts to this. So you click on this button and you can literally import the entire contact list from the spreadsheet, clean list, right? A clean list. So you can import all of that, and then the automation starts. And the reason I prefer automations is not just because it gives me a hands-off business, but also because automations tend to inbox better. Because when you tend to send broadcasts, you're literally sending 1,000 emails in a minute. But when you do automations, they're naturally staggered. So that way, you don't, like, emails are a bit like, let's say, packets of information online. If you send one packet with 1,000 emails, it looks bulky, it gets slowed down, it gets throttled, all those different things. But if you're sending packets with like 5 emails at a time, they pass through very quickly because they're low volume. And Google specifically, because Google does read your emails. If it looks at 1,000 emails that looks the same, it's gonna put into like promotion tabs very quickly. But if you're sending 5 emails that look the same, it doesn't seem like it's a marketing email. So quite often those emails inbox better. They actually land in the primary folder if you stagger them, which again with automation, it happens automatically. Is that clear so far? Look, I just want to make sure I'm sharing a lot of things. I just want to make sure I'm not losing you in all of this because there's literally a ton of different things that you can do here. So
And I wanted to just touch on that as well, guys, is that I don't think we mentioned this at the start. There's like, I've never found any other autoresponder that allows you to do what it does here in Mailvio Prospect, because it like a lot of the absolute behemoth autoresponders like Aweber, MailChimp. Like MailChimp doesn't even let you use affiliate links. Aweber, MailChimp, GetResponse, all these other ones, they won't let you just upload cold leads, even if they're leads from people that are allowing you to contact them. Because again, with ProfileMate and on Instagram, it doesn't get every single lead, every single person's email address, only the people that are allowing you to contact them. So to do this in any other way is, one, probably not going to be possible. Two, you're going to have a lot of limitations. Three, the automation side of things I've just found is so much more difficult than in anything else outside of Mailvio Prospect. And Neil, one of my favorite features that I love that you guys have inside of yours for broadcast is that you can actually just tick the thing that says email unopens after X days, because that's one of the things I hate doing, is having to go back in and manually going select unopens, and it's all these little things that are just time consuming and grit me. You've made a perfect solution for it. And finally, pricing is just it just doesn't compare. Like the big companies charge some pretty big amounts, I guess because they use so much on advertising and other things like that. But the whole concept here is to get you guys an automated system from getting emails to getting them out there in an automated way that can ensure you have the highest chance of opens, the highest chance of conversions, the highest chance of an automated business. And again, an autoresponder is something that every single internet marketer I've ever met has, and we want to ensure you can do email marketing the right way. And at the end of the day, like Neil said earlier, and I see this happen a lot, and it sucks. People do get complacent, and we all do. I do with a lot of things, you know. Like I've even got one of these. I've got 2 of these VR headsets here. I got the new one sent from Meta maybe like 3 months ago, and I still haven't even opened it because I've just been doing other things. And I'm like, yeah, I'll get to it. I'll do it. But and I know that happens a lot with online marketing purchases that we purchase, right? But that's why I really stick to ensuring you guys use these products that I share with you, because they are what get results. And as Neil said, there was like, yes, you can get thousands of emails, and when you know you can get something easy, it's very easy to then go, I'll just do that tomorrow or the next day or the day after that, right? But if you really pause and start to think, okay, 1,000 emails today, 500 emails tomorrow, instead of thinking of them as emails, think of them as people, and think of how you can actually contact that many people, not just people, but targeted people that want to be contacted, right? I've never seen another method to be able to do what this system does. And that's why it has had so many success stories. And once you have set it up, all you need to do is feed new emails into the system after you've cleaned the list, of course. But I just really wanted to touch on that there, to give you that concept of, okay, it's point A, getting the emails. That's going to be the traffic source. How do we get the traffic source to eventually our offer of what we actually want the ideal customer to do? Well, we provide value in the middle, and we do that by reaching out on a mass scale using Mailvio Prospect, and then we convert on the other side there, and we can have that all set up, all automated, and it's a very efficient, slick, simple, done for you business that you just you won't see anyone else sharing, and it really gives you that edge on every other marketer out there, unless they know about ProfileMate. And as much as I'd love everyone in the world to know about it, in some ways I don't, because I know my audience and Neil's audience that can really prosper with this. So I just wanted to touch on that there.
No, absolutely. And yeah, I think for us, one of the key things that differentiates us from others is that for this particular program that I'll talk about in a minute, we literally do a training session a week. So for the last, I would say, year, I have held that myself. Like, I've literally done a session a week myself, and now my team's taking over, and we just focus on B2B cold email marketing and nothing else. So that's something that you potentially have to look forward to as well, like regular help. And I know, again, like Luke said, we get a little bit complacent with things sometimes, and we don't always have time to work on things at the same time, at the time that we should. But as long as you can attend one of those weekly sessions, you'll get a lot more done than if you were to kind of go at it yourself. But look, I want to talk about benefits of cold email marketing with MailView Prospect as well, because when you do this, there's literally no need to chase up people one by one, right? You don't need to copy an email address, send them an email like, hi, I came across your profile. You can literally do 1,000 emails at the push of a button. If they unsubscribe or bounce, it's quite easy to remove them. You don't need to do it manually. If they unsubscribe, you don't email them again automatically. That's fine. If they have a hard bounce, again, they unsubscribe automatically. So all of that is set and forget. And everything is backed by community. Plus, you can use our cold email sequences as well. So we have a ton of cold email sequences that we have created in the past that worked really well for us. You can use them too. But again, like I said, I'm genuinely very curious about what changes AI will bring about for that, so that you can create your emails very, very quickly. Now, here's my proposition to you. Here's my offer to you. I want to work with you. I and my team, not just me, but I and my team, and my team is like much more effective at this than I am. We want to work with you for the next 365 days in your business to help you get results. Like, literally, if you allow us, we want to work with you every single day, every single week, with your permission, to help you get results with cold email marketing. So we've got a very special package, and the package has evolved since we first offered it, like I think 2 years ago. A lot more has been added. Some things that were not being used have been removed, which is fine. But this is what you get with this package. Number one, when you come in, there's pre-recorded 40 days of cold email marketing challenge. So I literally have done this live. Like every training in there is live that I've done. So it's now, of course, pre-recorded for you. But I have gone through the process of finding the leads via other mechanisms as well, not just ProfileMate, about qualifying them, by cleaning them and mailing them, and then getting results from them. So all the automations I showed you, you kind of saw on the screen earlier, I have literally built those live in front of people. So you're not just getting like training on how theoretically you should do it, you literally see me fail. And it's funny, like when you watch that training, I failed so much. But when we did succeed in the end, I've turned that thing into a process now, and my team just kind of executes it without me being involved. Because now we've figured out something that works, and now we've just scaled that up. So you get that pre-recorded training. On top of that, you get ongoing weekly training as well. So every Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern, we do a call. We walk you through, fundamentals of B2B cold email marketing and other things that you should know, some new things that we've come across that you should be aware of as well. So you get access to that. Number two, you get 12-month access to MailView Prospect 15,000 contact limit. And that renews, by the way, but at a much lower price. I'll come to that in just a little bit. And MailView Prospect is an amazing, amazing platform for bulk cold email marketing. You've got a beautiful editor. You can quickly send out emails with it. You can personalize the emails, as we talked about. You can literally test your emails, whether or not they're going to land in spam. And we tell you what's the probability of them landing in inbox or junk, or just them getting lost. So you get access to all those things. You can, if you're doing broadcasts, you can mail multiple lists at the same time, as well as you can basically do scheduling, which is, like I said, I like the best, which is automation. You can create segments and do a ton of other things. Basically, anything that you would expect from a platform like ActiveCampaign, let's say, you get with us. But again, ActiveCampaign won't let you do what we let you do. Aweber GetResponse won't let you do what we let you do. MailChimp doesn't even let you put affiliate links in it. But we let you do that, not just that, but bulk cold email marketing. So again, you can go out there and look, there's not a lot of options out there for you to be able to mail 500 to 1,000 leads a day, pretty much starting out, like pretty much on day one, depending again on how warmed up your domain is. Again, this is something our team discusses with you to help you, but you can pretty much get started with this really quickly. Okay, so you're getting access to all of this. Then number 3, you're getting a Fiverr Rolodex as well. Let me kind of flash that for you right now. So what we have done is over time, we have built a list of potential service providers. There's about 100 of those, and how much money they charge for service that they can do for you. So remember I talked about arbitrage earlier. If you wanted to do that, you can literally leverage this list and give the work to someone else. So you get access to this list as well. So 40 days of cold deal marketing, 12 months of mail your prospect. And by the way, the cold deal marketing training also includes weekly lives, as well as Rolodex of Fiverr vendors. You get access to all of that. On top of that, we give you a cold email sequences. So these are sequences that we have written before. They work really well for us. We give you those, plus some warm sequences as well for you, just to get additional value. Then you get a bonus. As a bonus, we give you one-on-one onboarding call. One of the things that sets us apart from our competition is we generally do care about your results, because look, we know if you care, then you're going to come back to us next year, right? So we give you one-on-one personal onboarding call on Skype, and you can ask that person anything you want about email marketing, and he will literally in front of you set up your account. Like he will set the DKIM, SPF, technical things that I don't want you to stress about, because I don't stress about them. I care about bringing the money. And at any point, when you're with Melvia, at any point, if you feel like, hey, my open rates are suboptimal, or I don't know what I should do in terms of strategy, you can book a call with our deliverability specialist, which is very different to companies like ActiveCampaign. Like, go ask them, hey, I want to talk to the person responsible for deliverability in your company. Can I do that? They shield really well. The reason they do that is because their deliverability department is also the compliance department. We let you talk to our compliance department. They don't. The reason we let you is because if we don't, you're going to keep making mistakes. But if you talk to someone in our team who can tell you do this and don't do this, it's easy. Like quite often, you may have gotten banned from one of these services, but they're like, oh, we can't tell you exactly why we banned you. It's our policy. We don't do that. We literally tell you in advance. Like we don't ban. I mean, it's very unlikely. I think out of we've had now thousands of customers, we only banned maybe 3 or 4 that were outright spamming, that were literally just scraping an email list and sending them affiliate offers. So as long as you don't do that, you're okay. Okay. Plus, we put you on our best IP. So when you come in, you are sitting on our best warmed up IP. That way you don't start from scratch. So Melvia Prospect Ultra, again, a special package they put together for you. For a long time, we did it exclusively for Luke only, and then it was so good. I talked to Luke, and Luke let me run that for my own email list as well, for my own customers, and that worked really, really well. Because again, I mean, this package, if you don't know, this first started because of Luke, because he had Profile Mate 2+ years ago. He asked me, he came to me like, Neil, I know you have an email marketing platform. Is it okay if you do this? Is it okay if you show this to our customers? I said, with a few tweaks, we can. We did. And honestly, that was the best response we've ever gotten on a webinar. And that was the best response my support team has ever gotten from the customers, because they love the added power of Profile Mate and Melvia together, because when you bring them together, you can do some amazing things. So again, 15,000 contacts. And just so you know, if you were to go to ActiveCampaign, not that you'd be able to, because ActiveCampaign wouldn't allow you to do cold email marketing. But let's say if you were to do cold email marketing via ActiveCampaign, just to show you how much it would actually cost you with 15,000 contacts, no other services included on top. Let's just check it out before I give you the price. So let's go for marketing alone. So they have different pricing here. Let's see. Doesn't say number of contacts, does it? Used to. I guess they've changed things a little bit. Yeah. I don't know. They've really changed things, because it used to be contact driven, and it used to, like, we used to compare and it would be about $300, $350 a month, just to be able to handle 15,000 contacts. Right, that
Yeah,
was their
I
price.
remember. I remember.
Yeah.
I remember for me with Aweber, I was paying something like, I think it was like $500 US. So for Australian, that's like $800-900 for something like, I think it was 30,000 contacts, or it might have been 50, but I think it was 30,000, or it might have even been less. But it was a crazy amount per month. So over a year, it was like, yeah, it was, I don't know, $5,000, $7,000 or something US over the year. So pretty insane what some of these autoresponders are raking in, especially when they don't even do the majority of the things that we can do here inside of this deal today.
Yeah, exactly. So look, I mean, something typically like this would easily run you a couple of $1,000 a year, and it's worth it, because honestly, even if you were to build a community of 100 people and run a challenge like, we quite often do, and just close like 5 of them for $1,000 each, you would have just made your money back on that alone. So that'd be worth it. But because we do a special deal for all of Luke's customers, we basically offer it at an opening price of $997 for the first year, and then $297 thereafter. So for $997, you get literally access to everything that I've shown to you before, and just Mailview alone, if you were to renew it next year, that'd be $297 a year. And just so you know, if you were to buy Mailview from our website right now, and we don't actually sell Prospect publicly, because for Prospect we want to kind of show you this stuff first. We want to talk to you a little bit before. But just if you were to buy Mailview Prospect, Mailview from our website directly, that alone would be $590 a year, right? But like I said, from the second year onwards, you get grandfathered into $297 a year. And at that price point, by the way, we don't actually make any profit from you. We don't make any profit, but we like to give you that as an incentive, because we want you to stick with us for the long term. We want you to do things the right way. So for that, this is the link you need to go to. Actually, I think you should see the link right here. I'm going to drop that in the chat for you as well. It's neilveer.com/profilemate. Go to that link, and I'll go to that link with you, and I'm going to show you basically everything that's included in the package. So again, I'll walk you through that one more time. This is an exclusive deal that we have set up for Luke, and like I said, I promise you, I won't ever run this for Luke or for my own list. And that's only because, we want to keep it as exclusive as we can for ProfileMate customers. So it's the only bulk cold email marketing platform out there. It says 500 leads, but you can scale up to 1,000 a day quite easily. You can even do more, but just come talk to us, because you want to make sure you're inboxing well at that time. Okay, so you can see everything that's included for you here, and the key point that I want to reiterate for you is that we do handle everything. Like, if you come up with questions, if you come up with any concerns, anything you get stuck at, we'll literally jump on a call with you and help you out. And you don't get that level of support from other companies, I can promise you that. So you get weekly step-by-step training with us. You get access to the bulk email marketing platform. You get tons and tons of built and ready-to-go automations, and of course a 40-day cold email marketing blueprint that we have recorded for you. You get to walk through that yourself as well. Okay, so everything that's included in the package for you is on that link, neilveer.com/profilemate. Go ahead and get it. Carlos says, Mailview sounds great. I'm getting it. Inactive campaign sounds as crazy as getting no response, MailPimp. That is definitely funny. Han says, do you have a payment plan? We actually do. So let me show you that. So let's click on that button, and I'll bring that up. So you can either pay one payment of $997 or 4 payments of $300. So 4 monthly payments of $300. Pick the one that works for you, and both in these cases renew at $297 a year. Right, so let me just, yeah.
And I just want to touch on that there as well. Like, in terms of people are saying how much is that monthly? So it's literally $80, just over $80 monthly, to get a full-blown autoresponder that allows you to contact cold email leads, and you are not going to find that anywhere else, especially with the 15,000 emails you can upload inside. And at the end of the day, like, that 15,000 number is going to be so high to reach that. Well, like, what will, if you do reach that with actual leads that have come in and they've really started to engage with you, because remember, the whole process is to upload the leads, send the 2 to 3 emails, then delete everyone that did not open or respond, because you can constantly add in new leads. There's no point emailing people that aren't engaging back with you. So eventually, and we have had customers that have done it, that have gone through and they've built these giant tribes essentially. But when you're at that point, you'll be making that much money off an email list, and as well as helping out so many people, that you can just upgrade to higher amounts of email leads if you need to do so. But that number is way more than needed. And again, I really want to touch on the things that Neil said about having warmed up IPs and having an actual team there to actually help. Now, with all the like active, get responses and Awebbers and all that, they are pretty, they have their support channels, but they are not the best. They're not really there to help you do things. They're more there to answer questions and then just send you copy and paste pages from their FAQ page. So with this, you actually get proper support and help. Secondly, like Neil's mentioned a few times, the things that you would need to do in a kind of autoresponder from these major companies, they expect you to know how to do email marketing. Here, we don't expect you to know how to do anything, and that's why there's so much video training inside of both ProfileMate and Melvio Prospect Ultra. It's a real hands-on. We help you. You can watch. You can see the mistakes being made, so you don't have to. And it's a real no-brainer here. Now, on top of that, warmed up IPs. I know that many of you might not know what an IP is or what it actually does. We use them inside of ProfileMate. Autoresponders use them. They're basically an essential part of many online businesses, and especially with big autoresponders, they'll buy a brand new IP address, which is just essentially, I guess you could call it like the way I like to look at it, it's kind of like your initial digital footprint online, and they're not going to trust you in most autoresponders because they don't know who you are, and they're going to make you prove to them that you are worthy of actually having your emails delivered properly. Here, Neil is trusting me, and then I'm trusting you guys to not just spam the hell out of people. But in exchange for that, you can start to create email sequences and get emails delivered at a much better deliverability, faster, sooner, and they've done the work for you, so you don't have to. And again, like I said, with Aweber, I was paying $500 a month. I do have a GetResponse subscription because I'm always testing out different things too, but that's about $350, $400 US a month. And I'm on their very base plan of autoresponder marketing there, and it's like someone said in the comments, I didn't even know you could do that in GetResponse. Well, you can't email cold leads, but that you can do automations and stuff, but it's just not made for the beginner. And I wish all these autoresponders were made as simple as Melvio Prospect Ultra is, because it really just makes it easy to get in, get your business done, and get out without having to go through multiple tabs and trying to figure things out. And again, $80 a month for the first year, and then if you continue, it turns into what 297 divided by
25.
Yeah. Would you say what's $297 the year after? So what's that over 12 months? Yeah, 12 months. Yeah, $12. Yeah, it's hardly anything. And you just picture all the leads as people, and you can reach out to them starting today on that mass scale. And I don't know any other online business opportunity that allows you to reach so many people that are targeted in a specific niche so quickly. And again, this is a tool that will also serve you in any other form of internet marketing journey. It's going to save you a lot of money if you're already doing email marketing, because again, you're not going to be paying the insane monthly fees that some of these other ones charge. Again, some of them charge in 1 month what this costs for the entire year. So it's pretty insane deal. And again, if you can't pick up grab it for the one-time price, which is going to be a bit more cost effective over the year, grab the 4 payment option and just get started. If you don't have an autoresponder and you're not trying to build leads, then it's kind of like, and I'm just saying this in a very straight up way, that you're not taking internet marketing as seriously as you should. Anyone that does well in internet marketing knows they need to have an email list and a way to contact them. And this allows you to capture leads, send leads, follow up with people, segment people out, really getting to build that audience and tribe that is just so important for every single internet marketing business. And again, when you have email leads and you have a way to mass contact them, you truly own your business. You don't depend on Facebook or Google or Instagram or anything like that. You own your business. And being the start of 2023, it is without a doubt about to turn into the year of AI. It kind of started to turn into that last year. And again, you know, even though today's gone a bit longer, maybe we'll do the AI training next week. You just need the tool here, and we can do the emails through AI. And I'll show you what the right ways to do things, the wrong ways to do things. I'll send it over to Neil too, and if he has any additions, he can add them in too. But guys, you need that way to contact those users. We've done this to give you the most affordable, the fastest, the highest value, and essentially also the only way to contact cold email leads on a mass scale, and to create that automated business that is just so simple. Drag and drop, you set it up, you add new leads in, you get rid of the old ones, that's it. And even if you don't want to do that, you can even outsource that to a VA. And I know a lot of ProfileMate users do that, and then they just have a money-making machine where their business is working for them when they're out doing whatever else they want to do with their life. So pretty much no-brainer here. Pick it up, 997 one time. If you can do it, just do that now. I'll never say, I'll normally say, if you're not going to do this, what are you going to do? I'm going to say to you, if you don't have an autoresponder, do this. Start building those leads. Don't be scared. If you have ever been scared of doing email marketing and jumping into really contacting people, because that's where people get stuck. People get stuck with the engagement. They get scared. What if I don't have enough value? What if I'm not doing the right offer? What if this funnel isn't okay? All these what ifs. And that's what our brain does, but they're just ideas in your head. And then it's what you, if you choose to believe those thoughts or not. And I know for the majority of people, if you really think about it, you can say to yourself, wow, all these ideas that I'm just saying to myself and why I shouldn't be doing this or that are actually BS, and I'm just scared of something not working, which is totally fair, especially when there's a lot of skeptical products out in the market. But if you take a step back and you look at anyone you know that does well online, they're doing email marketing. No matter if it's cold email marketing, if it's just to contact out to customers for webinars, whatever it might be, they're doing email marketing. And if you want to save money, do more than you can with other autoresponders, and really have a system that builds you an online business. This is for you. So pick it up now. The one payment 997 or the 4 payments are $300. What I'll also throw in as a bonus, I'll give you my local social academy course, which is my high ticket product, absolutely free. That goes through how you can literally go to local businesses and offer them online services where they pay you. I think there's something like 20 something hours of video from how to do Instagram marketing, YouTube marketing, Google marketing, how to build a website, how to automate client getting, so many different things. And even inside of ProfileMate, you can get clients. You can say, I only want to target businesses, and then reach out to businesses with A, B, C, and D. We go through all of that there. And then what I will also do is add in an extra 3 months of the supercharged searches inside of ProfileMate to your account. And if you're on this and you don't have ProfileMate, what I'll do is I'll give you the front end product so you can actually start to use ProfileMate as well as using this with the autoresponder. So to get those bonuses, all I need you to do is once you pick this up, write your email in the chat box here, or send me an email in a reply to the link that I've sent you for today's webinar, or just open a support ticket inside of any of our products. So our support desk link is lukesworld.com/support. So you can do that there. Turn my aircon on. But go ahead and do this one way or another. And again, you can get started today for as little as $300. All right. Today you can get started with that, and you're going to be building a proper business. This isn't just buying some next hot shiny object launch product that's coming out that promises the world and under delivers. No, this is a way you'll be able to get customers, be able to get leads, contact these leads in the right way on a mass scale, and start to build relationships and convert customers in a proper business, right? And you can set it up, and once it's set up, it's working, it's fine-tuned, you're good to go. You can watch it in Neil's 40-day challenge video as well, and you can see the mistakes that he's made so you don't have to. You've got that contactable support with them, and if you don't do this, it's just leaving money on the table for you guys, essentially, and it just comes down to if you believe in yourself enough. And that's what we try to do all the time, is to really show you guys that it can be as simple as one email campaign that can really change everyone's life. And I've seen it happen again and again and again, like that restaurant I told you about earlier, like the different local marketing businesses that I've seen that have gone out and used it for them, like people that have decided to only work with high ticket clients like surgeons. You know, the crazy thing is with the surgery field, if you go to a big surgeon and say, hey, I'm going to go to your main competitor, which usually I've found that most big surgeons, plastic surgeons specifically, they have an arch nemesis usually in their area. And you can say, hey, I want to actually reach out to all your main competition's audience that allow me to contact them, and I want to invite them over to your business for a free consult, which may normally cost $200. They're not going to worry about the $200. They want to have that person come over to them. And often when, especially with plastic surgery, it seems to be some people's vice. After having one, they'll have something else, and then they might have kids, have a mummy makeover. That 1 month of working with you for say $5,000 might bring them in 100 grand worth of business. So, and there's so many different industries like that. So, but to do that, you need essentially Melvio Ultra here to be able to do that on a proper mass scale. So I want you guys to do that. So check that out soon. So check that out now. Pick it up now, and I'll have a look if there's any other comments here as well. And yes, first year $997. Then if you want to continue on, it's just $297 a year recurring. Neil asked me a question. I'm doing a few things with AI. I'll talk to you about it after if you like. It's just trying to get it all neatly packaged. So, but that'll be cool.
Yeah,
it's an exciting but mind confusing time, this whole AI world, isn't it?
it is. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So one question from Michael, I think for you, which I couldn't answer, is about ProfileMate.
From Michael. Oh yeah, so if you don't have ProfileMate, I'll give you the front end version of ProfileMate when you pick this up today. If you do have ProfileMate, I'm going to throw in an extra 3 months of the supercharged searches, which allows you to search many more profiles every single day. But even for those that don't have it, and I give you the front end product, which allows you to use all the functions of ProfileMate. If you did want to upgrade to the supercharged searches or anything else like that, you can do that as well.
Yep. Cool. One thing I want to answer, does this product have all the functions of Klaviyo? Actually, I've never really used Klaviyo, so I can't say, but I would say we have majority of the functions that ActiveCampaign does, or MailChimp would, for example. We don't have SMS feature yet. It is something that developers have said that will be added in 2023, so I'm very, very hopeful that this year you'll be able to do SMS marketing from Melvio as well. So yeah, let me just see other things too. Oh yeah, we also have Zapier integration, by the way. So if you want to do some advanced things, some automations, you can definitely do that via Zapier as well. Just to show you the deal one more time, this is everything that is included for you. 40 days of cold email marketing challenge. Again, blueprint pre-recorded for you, plus weekly lives like next week on Monday. We'll be discussing about Instagram more specifically. Like someone said, have you shown basically what emails to write to leads you get from Instagram? So we'll be focusing on that most likely for 2 sessions back to back, because you can approach it multiple ways. It's a big topic, so you want to spend some time on that. You get Rolodex of Fiverr vendors. So if you wanted to just use arbitrage to offload services to other vendors, you can do that. We'll give you that list. You get about 10 cold emails from us, as well as additional automation sequences. There's a ton of automation sequences built into Melvio already. Plus, like I said, warm up IP as well as on-demand call with a deliverability specialist. And again, this person, by the way, if you were to find a deliverability specialist who can teach you, guide you, that's probably going to cost you about $200-300 an hour just by itself. Like that person alone will charge you $200-300 an hour because it's a very, very specific thing. But in our case, we include that in the package deal for you. Okay. Tavis, who's a customer. Yeah, go ahead, Luke.
No, you go.
No, so Tavis was asking a question about the supercharged searches, which so he just bought as well, I saw. Yeah.
Let me have a look. Tavis, if you pick this up, what I'll do is I'll get the what I'll do is I'll get the buyers list. I'll leave this open for a few days. This won't be open for a long time. What I'm going to do, yeah, I'll get that report and then I'll get you added in. Someone also asked about how much does it cost to clean email leads. Look, I use one called zerobounce.net. You just pay as you go, but it's literally next to nothing. Like per email for them to verify, it's less than 1 cent per email. So 5,000 emails might cost you like $30, up to $40 maybe max if you went through that many. But again, you pay as you go. So say you upload 200 emails, it's only going to cost you a couple of bucks to do a proper clean of that. And you'll find that the majority of emails are good. Like I'd say on Instagram, the majority are good emails because people use Instagram a lot. But yeah, there can be a lot of, especially if you're doing grabbing emails from other places, there are a lot of honeypots, and I'm sure there are on Instagram too. But it's just a good thing to do, and it can be the result of you then making like dramatic amounts more because your emails are being delivered properly versus emails not being seen at all. And it's as simple as you just upload the file from ProfileMate, hit scan, hit download, and then you can upload it straight away. It takes less than 5 minutes to do. So, and I'll show you how to do that later on. Maybe even, but there's videos inside of ProfileMate where I actually go in and show you how I do that. I'm sure there's other competition out there outside of Zero Bounce. Well, there definitely is. They probably do things cheaper. I'm just the classic. When you start to use something, when you know how to use something, it's just easier to do that for a while, and you have the intent of changing, but you just don't, unless it's dramatically cheaper, which is why I've noticed so many people have cancelled their order. They've gone, okay, wow, this Melvio prospect is so much cheaper than me using a different autoresponder, and it does so much more, and I'm saving thousands of dollars a year. It makes complete sense. So Neil's really gone above and beyond for you guys on this one. So yeah, so either way, whether you have ProfileMate or not, if you pick this up, you'll get the front end product of ProfileMate. And if you've already got it, you'll get the extra supercharged searches, or I'll even give you a white label key if you prefer that. On top of that, I'll give you my local social academy course, and I'll do that for the first 20. I do sell that for $997. You'll get that absolutely free. And I want you guys just to really dive in on this, because again, email marketing is key. If you're not doing it, you need to be. And I don't want you just getting ripped off by these giant companies that don't give you the support, don't give you the training, don't show you actual training as well that can connect your purchases. That's one of the biggest things as well that I've always tried to share, is how you can connect purchases you've made, whether it's from me or other vendors, into an actual strategic full business from actual offer, and then traffic source and how to connect them together. Because that's where a lot of us get left alone, is that there's that no connection. We buy this product and then we have to figure out how it should all tie together. This is such a done for you business, from getting the emails inside a ProfileMate that you know are targeted, cleaning them, which takes 2 seconds to do, uploading it inside of Melvio Prospect Ultra, and then creating those initial email automations, and then it's just automated. It's so good. It's a no-brainer. So many success stories. Literally, I'm pretty sure everyone here could say, yes, I could do this. I could scan my favorite local. I could go to my local restaurant where I know the owner, and I can say to him, hey, I want to actually show you something here. Here's a list of your top 3 competitors' actual Instagram followers. Would you pay me $500 a week to mass contact, or you can choose whatever price you want. Even if you've never done it before, just do it less, or even say, hey, I'll do this week for you. Let me know how many extra bookings you get, and I'm going to actually email for you all your competitors' followers that want to be contacted, and I'm going to invite them in for a free drink. Can we do that? And I want to see how many extra bookings you get. They will be blown away, and they will then want to pay you to continue to do it for them. Then you can go to other restaurants in other areas. You can do it in different states, different countries. And that's just with restaurants. You can teach this process to a VA then, and then have them do it for multiple niches, and you don't even do anything. But it's a proper business from traffic source to offer, and the method to do that is through Melvio Prospect Ultra, and that's why I want you guys to pick it up now. So the link again, melvio.com/ProfileMate. It's in the chat box as well. We're not going to stay on this forever. I know it's so late for Neil, probably 2, 3 a.m. I know he's here later than he wants to be, I'm sure, again, but I want you guys to go in and grab it right now. If you have grabbed it, say yes in the chat box, and Neil, I'll let you answer any more questions there, because I know you want to get to bed. I know the family is probably like, where is Neil? And he's with some Australian guy on my webcam. So I'll let you say whatever you need to say, and I'll let you get to bed.
Yeah, no problem at all. So Jonathan wants to kind of see the form feature within Melvio, and I'll do a very, very quick overview of that. This is something we've upgraded over the last year or so. So just to show you, you can basically make forms based on groups. So you decide which group you want, and you can choose like a rounded form like this one, a simple one, or a transparent one. So we have hosted forms, or we have embedded forms as well. So you can use JavaScript in this case to embed the forms. But let's say if I go for this one in particular, what I can do once I get in here is I can basically build this entire thing. Now, just so you know, quick warning, I typically don't do all this myself. My team handles it, so I may fumble around a little bit. But you've got, it's like a small page, mini page in a way that you can change the colors quite easily. So you can put a different background image, or you can just change the color as you see fit. Then you can change margins as well. So of course, if you want to make it narrower or longer, I like this kind of form. I think this is quite good. You can change what the fields look like. You can add a change. This is basically coloring, the styling, labels, links, all of that. Right now, in terms of this, you can add more fields as well. So for example, you can, let's say this is again, like it's pretty much how the email editor is. We've used the same feature here. So if I go to layouts, you can change the layout as well of the form you wanted to. But if I go into elements, let's say if I go to some text, maybe you want to add some text here to explain why they're signing up. So you can add that text, and you can change the color to be white. There you go. You can add some checkbox, which is relevant for GDPR if you're in Europe, for example. And hidden input is where you want to collect details and store in the autoresponder, but you don't want to show the input there. So we do this often when we're using like redirect, so we want to see which affiliate sent the lead. We use hidden input for that. So yeah, you've got all these different features basically that you can use. So there's another input field that I've added. So I could say, okay, this could be the business name. So they put in the business name. Let's add another input field. This could be, for example, city of business if they were entering their own. So you could do all of that right in here. So Jonathan, if that, does that help? Is the form you're demonstrating embeddable? No, it's not. This one is, I mean, you can embed this too. Let's go further. I'll just show you. 1 second, it's asking me to select the field. Let's just do this for now. Okay. So when you have this form, for example, you can decide like what you want, when someone signs up, should they, if you want to show a message, or do you want to like, send a thank you email, or do you want to redirect them to another website, which you can. I'll just go for this one. I'll show you the embedding options further along. Let's go further. Okay, to design template, that's done. Save and continue. Okay, 1 second. Done. Okay, finish. So there you go. So that's the form. It is done. You can basically just deploy the form like this. So this is what people can see. But if you wanted to build an embeddable one, I know you asked for that as well. Let's go ahead and quickly show you that too. If you wanted to do an embedded one, just go here. So they are a bit more basic designs, but you can design it the same way the previous one was done, right? So let's change the background to black. Save. Let's go ahead and add more fields to it. You can do all that. This is like a 2-column thing. So if I go into layout, this is the 2-column one. So if you want horizontal, you can change it. There you go. So let's see if you can just add more fields to this elements, and I can just drag and drop the fields here. So there you go. You can arrange this as you want, Jonathan. And then this is embeddable. So you can embed this somewhere. Okay, cool. All right. Amin says, Michael, I'll figure out how to access a profit platform via the previous webinar. And yeah, I also save a lot of money compared to GetResponse. That's good. I mean, look, that's one of the things, like we always want to offer value. So not just, sell you something, but we just want to give you value. So you actually end up not just using the platform, but actually loving it for how much money it saves you. So yeah, there's that. We are going to be turning this off soon, but again, that's everything that's included for you today on this session. And just to tell you this as well, like over time, this package has only gotten better. So as long as you stick with it, you're only going to get more and more in the future. The longer you wait, the longer you delay your possible success with cold email marketing. That's
right. So Neil, mate, I want to firstly say thank you to you. I appreciate you always doing these crazy time zones. It's right now with daylight savings, it's not so bad for me here in Australia. Sure. But I know there's a lot of people that will watch this replay and will want to see these and ask their own questions at a different time zone. So I think for the next one, I might even just do it. If people reply to the replay email that I send out saying yes, do a different time zone, I'll do one that suits you, and then I'll stay up all night. So you can have a bit of a payback on me for always doing this to you. But I'm going to stay around for a few more minutes as well after this, but I just wanted to say thank you so much, Neil. Anyone in the comments here, if you can, thank Neil for being a part of this today. And I really appreciate you as always, my friend. Neil's one of the few people in the industry that is just like, I couldn't say a single thing I've ever seen him do that hasn't been not only amazing, but so ethical, how much he cares about his customers, how much he wants them to succeed, and they do succeed. And that's why, again, I always say I don't bring many people onto webinars. It's usually me. just doing them myself here, hanging with you guys. You know, Neil actually flew out to see me in Rome last year, and we spent a few days together, which was really, really cool. That he'd fly all the way to see me there. We had a really good time. And you know, it's interesting. As I'm sure you can tell, we both have different presentation styles. Neil is a lot more organized in terms of screenshots and presentations, and I'm a lot more ADD on the go. Just whatever I'm thinking, I'm doing, and I know I always enjoy doing webinars with Neil. So the different people that are watching, you can get the best of both worlds, depending on which type of presentation style you like. But at the end of the day, we have the same goal of wanting you guys to have as much success as possible. It's why we built this. It's why you're seeing this. We are going to be closing this again soon. Again, this happens every single time. People in 2 weeks will say, I really want to get in on that. And the offer's closed. We don't do fake scarcity. So if you want to be a part of this and you can see the value of getting thousands and thousands of people, not email leads, they're people. Well, you're getting email leads, but they're connected to a person, and you want to really start ramping up your traffic and businesses. This is without a doubt one of the best ways to do it. If you don't have an online business yet, this is still one of the best ways to do it, because you can offer local businesses something they've never seen. It's one of the things I love to teach new ProfileMate users is when, and our Melvio prospect users, is that don't have a business. If you go to a local business, because most local businesses have tried some form of social media marketing, but if you show them this, if you show them how you can get all of their competitors' followers that want to be contacted and then say, I'm going to do that for you, they're not that makes so much sense to them. That's so much value to them. And if they're like, oh, I'm not sure, you can say, look, it's okay, I'll give you 48 hours because I have a meeting actually with the competition down the road. But I really wanted to work with your business first because I love it, A, B, C, D, and you'll find that you will start to get a lot of traffic going, and that's just one way. But again, this works for e-com, this works for local marketing, it works for affiliate marketing. You've just got to give that value first, and again, putting yourself in that customer position. So Neil, thank you so much. Have a good sleep, mate. I'll hang around for a few more minutes as well, and actually answer some extra questions with Neil. As
Thanks,
always,
man.
mate, appreciate it. All right,
I really
thanks,
appreciate
Neil.
it. One thing I want to answer very, very quickly, because I've seen this question come up a few times. I already have Melvio. How can I get this deal? So if you already have Melvio, perhaps you purchased like 1, 2, 3 years ago, whatever, reach out to us at support@melvio.com. We'll look at how much you're paying, and we'll just have to charge you the difference, you know, compared to this. And you get the extra things like the 40-day challenge, the weekly lives. So the weekly lives are specifically reserved for the Melvio Prospect Ultra customers, but at the moment, twice a week we do office hours. So if you can't attend those weekly lives because they're not in your time zone, you can always attend the office hours that are at different times. That way you still get to talk with us one-on-one. But this way, you know, if you want to just pay the difference, that's okay too. But for that, you have to reach out to support@melvio.com. Otherwise, honestly, for cold email marketing, this is the best deal that you're going to see out there. This is the best deal that we have put out. And Luke, again, I really appreciate being able to do this with you here. And I know it's a bit odd time for me, but I always do enjoy you know, presenting to your audience because they're so engaging. So thanks for that.
Thank you, mate. I appreciate that, Neil. Everyone give me a big clap, even though it's only my clap he can hear, but I'm sure he can feel the rest of your clappings and maybe even cringings right now. All right, so thanks, Neil, appreciate it. All right, I see a bunch of people saying, okay, can you show me how to scrub a list? Let me even just show you how to just do that real quickly because it is that quick. I'm gonna make myself the presenter. There we go. Show my Google Chrome. Hold on, should just take a second. There we go. There's my Instagram. So let me find where Zero Bounce is. So this is just what I use. Again, there's so many out there. I'm not endorsed by them, anything like that. You log in, you get your actual PDF file and you drag it into here. And that file, not PDF, sorry, your file or CSV file or zip file from ProfileMate, drag it into there, you upload it, and then it'll say clean or scan or something like that. Once done, you download your results. And I haven't scanned anything for a little while here, but I'll show you the pricings of it. It's pay as you go, pay subscriptions, but you can also just pay as you go. I recommend just paying as you go because again, it's just easier that way. See, 2 to 5,000 emails, less than 1 cent per email. You can buy packs for 30 bucks, 40 bucks if you wanted to as well, or you can just literally pay as you go. And obviously the more you get, the cheaper it gets, but getting started, just start with the cheapest one. But just pay. You don't even need to buy the 5,000 one. Say you only get 1,000 emails, just scan those and give it a go. And you'll find the majority of emails are going to be clean. You just and then it's just as simple as that. So it takes 2 seconds to do. I'm pretty sure Mailvio Prospect at one point even had their own email cleaner option in there. I'm not sure if they do anymore, but there's plenty out there. You type in email cleaner, you'll find different prices. You'll find ones that have different sales. But make sure again to come here, use it, pick it up. There's live trainings as well, which I love because it gives so much, just gives so much value to everyone. And you can really dig your teeth into something. You don't need to go out looking for the next golden object. You can literally use a system that has worked for so many years, and it's the perfect match. Like Neil said, the first time I released Profile Mate, it actually was 3 years ago, I think, maybe even 4 now, probably 3 years ago. And I said to Neil, like he said, hey, look, I want to find a better way to mass contact these users versus just either manually doing it or adding them in the CC column, or a way to actually automate it so we can create a proper business where all we need to do is just upload new leads into the system and delete old ones. And then we built it, and it was the most successful webinar I've ever done outside of one I did with Chris Record, if anyone remembers him from years and years and years ago. But in terms of the amount of people in the room to the Chris Record one, the one I did with Neil was the best webinar I've ever done in my life. Not only just results in terms of how many people saw the value, but the results that customers got, right? And the reason customers get results is because when you put targeted people in front of value that's connected to the right offer, you make money. It's literally as simple as that. And for some reason, the internet marketing world likes to overcomplicate things and really make you feel that their product is the only thing that's going to do it for you. Look, I can tell you, whether it's this or whether it's any other system that can give you a targeted traffic source to a offer that is valuable to that targeted traffic source, you're going to make money. The problem is that most products and services don't do that. They only just do one thing or two things, and this Mailvio Prospect here really answers that solution of cold email marketing, because again, you can't do it anywhere else. So again, if you can pick it up for the one-time investment, not only is that going to really give you skin in the game. When you've got skin in the game, you're going to do the work, you're going to attend the training sessions, you're going to put your blinders on, and you're going to zone out from any other distraction, and you're going to get this to work. Now, if you can't do that, the 4 payment option, you can get started with all of the features, and you can get started today for as little as 300 bucks today. Now, this is proper online marketing. This is proper result getting. This will enable you to get traffic, reach out to that traffic ongoingly, and build that audience around whatever it is you're trying to sell. In terms of writing the emails, again, there's so much training inside of Mailvio Prospect that Neil's done on this, but we're going to go over that next week as well, on how to write highly converting emails. And I'll do that no matter if you're using Mailvio Prospect or Profile Mate, or you just want to know how to write cold email marketing. And again, cold email marketing can also then reflect into how to do copywriting for sales pages, copywriting for actual paid ads. You know, every single people don't believe me for some reason, I don't know, but they don't believe me when I say I write every single email to you guys myself, and that I write every single sales page that I do. The people that do believe me are the ones that notice sometimes I just have the most horrible spelling mistakes at times, but I apologize for that. Sometimes I just am too fast for my own good, and sometimes I just forget how to spell a word. But you know, if I can do that and still do really well in the internet marketing world, I have no doubt everyone here can do the exact same as well. It's just that inner belief. And again, guys, remember that when you have those thoughts of doubt, and you know, this is a big lesson that I learned. It took me years and years, and even sometimes I still struggle because I forget this. And so that's why I say it out as well, because it helps me remember, is that when you have these intrusive thoughts, these doubtful thoughts, things that I should be doing more, I should be doing this, I should be doing that, but I can't because of A, B, C, and D. I'm not good enough. I need to be doing this instead. I just bought this. Really just stop and say, okay, what makes sense? What makes sense? And are these ideas about myself and who I am and how I'm feeling true? Because ideas, we don't make our ideas as much as for a long time I thought we did. Our ideas come in our head, and we then choose to either believe them or not. Everyone has, and another thing that I've always thought of, and you know, this was back in the day when I had problems talking to girls. It was interesting, like when I was really young, I had problems talking to girls, and it was just a massive confidence issue that I ended up finding I had a lot of confidence issues and approval issues I needed to get through when I was younger. But it's all about perspective. We all live in this same world, right? We all live in the exact same world. We just all have our own different views and perspectives on reality. One guy might go out and he might speak to 20 different girls and get one number and feel like the biggest reject in the world, versus someone who does that, and then they'll say that is the biggest win in the world, right? It's all how we frame and think of our thoughts, and at the end of the day, it comes down to just not letting those bad thoughts intrude and stop you from doing the best you can in life and in a situation. And so when that happens, that first think that, then think, okay, does this actually make sense, right? If you're watching this and this doesn't make sense to you, then I don't want you to be a part of it, because there'd be nothing worse than if you truly don't see the value in this, then it's going to be hard for you to do so. I don't want you to just pick it up because I'm telling you to. But if you are on the fence, you do see the value and you're just scared, I really suggest diving in, giving it a go, giving it your all, excluding those negative thoughts, put the blinders on, follow the training, don't let yourself get distracted, and keep that momentum going. On top of that, ProfileMate 2023 is launching in I think about a month or two. So what I'm going to do as well is give everyone that picks us up here now extra bonuses for that, and anyone that's also already has ProfileMate, you'll be upgraded for free, no extra cost. All right, you'll all be upgraded for free. You don't have to buy anything new. It's just I did this with AdvertSuite as well. I've launched that a couple of times and added new things and new launches, and all our members that have been there from the start have always gotten upgraded for free, even though obviously that financially affects me. I know by helping you guys, it helps you trust me more. And when you trust me more, I know then I can help you guys get more results. And then when you get results, it's just the best feeling in the world for me. So yeah, I appreciate you all. So how long have we been going here today? We've been going for 2 hours, 13 minutes. So probably too long again, even though I said at the start this wouldn't go for too long. So again, ProfileMate, neilvio.com/ProfileMate. I'll put the link one more time in the chat box. Again, we'll go there, neilvio, neilvio.com/ProfileMate. And then you're going to scroll down, grab it here. And then if you can get the one-time deal, grab that. Again, you get my high ticket 997 course free, Local Social Academy. And if you don't have ProfileMate, you'll get the front end product for free. If you do have ProfileMate, you'll get the white label keys or 3 months of the supercharged searches there as well. And I'll let this apply for both the one payment and the 4 payments. for the next, let's say, 72 hours. So 72 hours once this email, the replay of this has been sent out, which I'll send out in a couple of hours from now. But if you're on here now, like, it's so classic that I see it happen. People say, yeah, I'm ready for it, but I'll watch the replay or I'll do this, and then they'll wait. And then they wait too long, and then the deal's gone and they've got distracted. These are my chances to get you focused, and I want you to be focused so you can get the results and not get distracted by the next shiny object. You need to be doing email marketing. And when you have a lead generation method like ProfileMate, that so many people don't have because they don't know it exists. And it's my job to get it more out there. But at the same time, I want those who do know about it to really thrive versus every single person doing it. You know, you're in a very, very lucky position. So in saying that, any more questions, let me know. Michael says, I've been trying to build a profitable list for the past 3 years, and this is the best solution I've seen. Yeah, it's a very, very rare one. Yeah, purchase link is neilvo.com/profile, mate. Michael was paying over $100 for qualified leads on Google AdWords. Yeah, it can be hard. Am I doing AI training next week? Yeah, let's do the AI training next week because it's been two hours and a bit. I know people are probably a bit exhausted, so I'm going to make sure we do that next week. That'll be the starting topic. We won't be doing anything else, but besides from going into that. So, all right, cool. All right, guys, you know what? And you know what's good today, guys? I've actually haven't missed my training. I haven't missed my training session today because I moved it hours ahead, but somehow I've got to be there in 40 minutes. So what I'm going to do is go get ready now, get out of this pretty cool shirt that I'm in. I don't know if you can see David Attenborough, just a legend, one of the world's legends. It's so nice to watch at night and have a good sleep. Paul says, if you bought ProfileMate last week, if you bought the bundle, Paul, just drop me your email quickly, and I'll double check that it's turned on for you. Otherwise, I'll add you in. Michael loves the David Attenborough shirt. Yeah, got to represent. I need to get a Steve Irwin one. Someone said. Yeah, I do. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate that. I'll upload this to YouTube. Again, follow me on Instagram as well. It's just @Luke McGuire on YouTube. It's @Luke McGuire, youtube.com/Luke McGuire, I believe it is. If it's not, I'll just send the link out in the replay. Paul, let me just go ahead and check that for you right now since I'm here. One sec, and I'll see if any more questions come in while I turn on your white label if I haven't already. And if anyone else did pick up the bundle deal last week of the ProfileMate bundle deal, and you haven't got access, just make sure to open a support ticket or send me an email, and I'll really try to double check it. Paul, I'm just going to double check that your transaction. I'm trying to search you. I can't see it yet. Let me just do that here. Just having a search. Tavis, appreciate you here. All right, what I'll do, Paul, is I'm going to go through this now, try to find that email, and then we'll go from there. But if you've purchased it, I'll make sure that you get in now. All right, guys, have a great one. And I will see you all next week. I'll send the replay out shortly. AI training next week on how to use AI to write emails that convert, not just emails, ads, Facebook posts, Instagram posts, scripts, whatever you want. We'll go through that. Yeah, Michael says here, it's crazy. I happened to click on an email from you from a bogus purchase. I'm really happy we met. Well, I met you. Yeah, thanks, Michael. You know, yeah, and this is the thing, guys, as well. Whenever you're purchasing products, this is a big warning to everyone right now. Whenever you're purchasing any products from any vendor, make sure that you either are purchasing it from the actual affiliate's email, if it's going through an affiliate. If you're Googling it, make sure that you don't go to a checkout page that says I am tools. I am tools. If they're not using PayPal, it's probably a fake page. If they have PayPal and they have a credit card option together, it most likely is, and it's the JVZoo checkout page, then you're good. But there's a scammer out there that's somehow, I don't know if they've hacked JVZoo or they've hacked Warrior Plus, or they've somehow got access into different people's backends or access it through, I don't know how they're doing it, but all of the top vendors right now are having their sales pages completely ripped and put on domain names that are similar to what the official domain name is, and they're selling products that are around the same price, sometimes $10 cheaper, but they don't actually deliver the product. They just take your money. They're using some dodgy processor in some random island somewhere, and they're getting screwed over. The customer's getting screwed over because they don't get the purchase, but then they have it all set up to look like it's the vendor, like whoever it might be, whether it's Todd Gross or whether it's me, or whether it's Karthik, or whether it's Neil or Avi, or so many of them, or so many of us are having this person completely rip our pages. And then they've set it up that even if we send takedown notices, they're in dodgy islands that don't care. So we're working on a solution for that. But make sure if you're ever purchasing, make sure it's going to a JVZoo checkout page. It'll be in the link up the top of the page. It'll say JVZoo dot something or other. And make sure they do have that PayPal option there. If you have been scammed, just charge back, keep charging back, and purchase from the vendor directly. Yeah, Michael says they will use Pro at the end of the site. They sometimes use Pro, they sometimes buy the .co, they sometimes buy the .net. Yeah, it's pretty crazy how scammy they can be. But yeah, all right, thank you guys, Paul. I'll get onto your thing now. And I appreciate you all. James says as well, or pay Kickstart like Neil. Yeah, so higher ticket products usually aren't being ripped. It's normally the lower ticket products so far anyway off JVZoo. And Neil uses JVZoo a lot. For this, he's using pay Kickstart so you don't get hit with the JVZoo percentage that they take there. All right. Saying that, guys, appreciate you all. Let's see you next week, same time, and I'll send a new link out to register. What I'll do as well is I'll add in multiple events, so you only need to register one more time, and then you're registered for them all. Okay, all right. Thanks, guys. Have a good one. Bye.